English majors are at an advantage when it comes to the world of acquiring a career post-graduation, despite the many negative stereotypes associated with this field. While many believe that students graduating with an English degree will never find a job or never make any money, these outdated stereotypes demonstrate a lack of research within the current job market. English majors learn a plethora of soft skills that are highly sought after by employers in the professional world, and specifically in the 21st century, due to the fast-paced and ever-changing world of business and technology. Moreover, the value of an English degree in today's world is evident as it leads to self-actualization and social change through the continuous exchange of stories, both by word of mouth and in print publications. By continuously reading and listening to the exchange of stories, English majors are consistently exposed to worlds and lives separate from their own experiences. Moreover, English majors are able to attain mastery over many of the top skills that companies are looking for as of 2020. Some of these skills include creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and emotional intelligence, according to a learning blog published by LinkedIn. These skills are considered by employers across all fields and majors, but English majors are particularly at an advantage because many of these concepts are directly integrated into our university curriculums. For example, Seton Hill integrates creativity in the English curriculum by offering courses such as writing fiction and writing poetry, which encourage students to think outside of the box and come up with original ideas to engage with in their own writing. Persuasion also comes naturally to English majors, as we have become accustomed to writing persuasive essays throughout our school years and are able to carefully craft and defend a thesis. Essay writing encourages critical thinking as well, because English majors learn to constantly look beyond the surface of texts and analyze these works for meaning beyond what might be obvious to a general audience. In addition to this, our university offers English students the opportunity to participate in opportunities such as narrative 4 exchanges, strengthening not only a student's communication skills, but also heightening emotional intelligence through the exchange of interpersonal storytelling. In narrative 4, you tell each other stories and engage with the other person's story in first person and share that with a group of individuals, and they do the same for your story. So it allows English majors the opportunity to literally step into the shoes of another person and tell their story, fostering empathy. In my own experience at Seton Hill, I was able to participate in a narrative 4 exchange with liaisons from Limerick, Ireland, which allowed me to understand the global impact that storytelling has and understand the interconnectedness of our experiences across countries. I chose to become an English major because I've always loved reading and writing, as most people who become English majors do. Throughout my undergraduate studies, I have become most engaged by poetry as literature, but I have also always been incredibly passionate about the fantasy literary genre. Poetry is distinctive to me due to its ability to heighten the human capacity for empathy. Poetry is an important avenue of expression because it encourages us to explore the complexity of each individual's experience and emphasizes the vital role of vulnerability in creating community. I write poetry because I enjoy experimenting with the lyrical aesthetic of composing language, while also using these works as an imaginative avenue for self-expression. This genre has actually led to my own self-actualization, as I have come to recognize my potential through the support of professors, friends, family, and those beyond the scope of my inner circle at Seton Hill and in daily life, through acquiring publications and attending workshops in order to further hone my knowledge of this genre. I have even decided to continue pursuing a degree in creative writing, specifically with a focus in poetry at Emerson College at the graduate level, in order to continue honing my development as a poet and appreciating the beauty that can be created through this genre. This MFA degree will allow me to eventually teach at the collegiate level, and as a future professor, I aspire to share the passion I have acquired for poetry with younger generations and host opportunities for these students to become involved in a community of writers, as I have encountered at Seton Hill. Reading literature critically is also necessary in acquiring this understanding of others because it helps us to empathize with their experiences from an array of historical backgrounds, ethnicities, and other demographics. I was able to expand my knowledge of deconstructionist, LGBTQ, African American, and feminist literary criticisms during the literary criticism course during my undergraduate studies. I've learned that language is fallible in the sense that it can be interpreted in thousands of ways across different cultures and generations. And this way, deconstructionist criticism encourages creative and critical thinking because it brings direct awareness to how social ideologies impact our language systems as well as our interpretations of specific texts. This directly relates to the study of LGBTQ, African American, and feminist criticism, because in order to analyze how language is used within society, we must first recognize the experiences of those who have been marginalized, oppressed, and discriminated against throughout the history of humankind. This importance was reiterated at Seton Hill through courses such as Topics and New Voices, which directly demonstrated just how crucial it is to engage with stories from individuals outside of not only our own countries or cities, but entirely separate from our own experiences. More than ever before, in the midst of the worldwide coronavirus pandemic, the Black Lives Matter movement, and the rally against Asian hate, we need people who can empathize with others and think critically about the social problems that we are facing so that we can bring about necessary social change through working together. Many publishing companies are also seeking manuscripts in the categories of new or previous marginalized voices, which I learned during the MFA residency, which further demonstrates the literary world's commitment to ensuring that everyone has a voice and is able to share their stories. In essence, it is impossible to fully understand the extent of someone's character until you listen to their story and the experiences that have shaped their existence, as English majors and writers encourage, and develop the capacity for empathy to understand how these experiences have come to affect an individual's journey. Living in southwestern Pennsylvania for the majority of my life has engendered many escapist ideals in my own writing, and is also why I fell in love with reading at such a young age. Books were the first medium for me that exposed me to experiences outside of my own world. I grew up nestled between cornfields and cow pastures, so my siblings and I quickly learned to use our imaginations to turn pine trees into protective fortresses and crabapple trees into delicacies that grant immortality. These make-believe childhood games are what truly honed my creativity, and I've been able to expand upon this during my career at Seton Hill. I learned to appreciate my environment beyond what it has offered at the surface and attribute the magic I've desperately longed to experience to the natural world. Seton Hill has also encouraged me to engage with my own experiences creatively through writing courses such as creative nonfiction, which required me to think not only creatively but also critically about how my experiences have shaped my character and to capture those ideas through prose and poetry. As an undergraduate English and communication double major, I have learned to thoroughly appreciate the value of language as a means of connecting with others. Establishing these connections is what allows us to create community, which is especially important in solitary occupations such as writing. English majors are easily able to identify the interconnectedness of human experiences, as well as think creatively, critically, and ethically in order to come to conclusions which might arise in the professional world or which might be sought after by professionals during their hiring process. An English degree continues to amass even greater value as today's world is fast-paced and continues to provide platforms such as social media, which gives all individuals a space to share their own stories.